Alright, and here we have the finals of the Discord chess tournament. Carter versus Dawnbringer. Dawnbringer is white and Carter is black. And we have a Queen's Pawn opening. The Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit accepted, in fact. But with a strange third move of Queen A4 check. This is traditionally not what you see. You usually see E3 and Bishop takes C4. Because the Queen is now in the center of the board. And we see E5, the central variation. Knight F3. Protecting the D4 pawn, and now E5, attacking the Queen. This is why you generally don't put the Queen out early, because it is susceptible to attack, causing you to lose tempo. A5, Bishop D2, A4. Both players moving very quickly. It's move 8 of the game. White has 10 minutes. Black has 9 minutes 40 seconds. Neither player taking their time. They both want to get this game over with. They're excited. Or maybe they're just nervous. Either way, White has 10 minutes on the clock still, while Black's time continues to tick down. Black's usual playstyle of pushing the pawns and not developing the pieces is continuing to take effect. Not a single piece has been developed by Black, but all the pawns except for one have been pushed. White playing a very standard developmental opening, moving the pieces out. Surprisingly though, the engine says the position is even until just that last move, Bishop A6. The move that Black should have played was not that. Never mind, the engine now says that it was not in Black's favor at all. White pushes D5, and Black responds by going B4, attacking the knight. And now, you see, Black might just win a piece here. The queen is under attack by the bishop, so the queen will have to move. But if the queen moves, the pawn will take the knight. Very good move out of Black. The pawn pushing strategy, some call it the spider's web, proving to be useful. The pawn does take. How will White take the pawn back? With the pawn, they always say capture toward the center when you are capturing with pawns. And now, C takes D5. Will White capture that pawn back? Yes, they will. Will Black capture back with the queen? Only time will tell. Yes, the queen does capture. But now, queen takes the pawn. Queen blocks. It's a very, very fast-paced game. We're on move 15. Both players have 9 minutes left on the clock. And this appears to be a blunder, because the queen is under attack. Queen takes on A4 is a move that can be played and will result in Black winning the queen. But he does not take it. He pushes G4, attacking the knight on F3. Now, White has a chance to make up for their mistake. But he doesn't. queen is still under attack. Will black see it this time around? I'm just checking to make sure that I have the position correct. And I do. That queen looks free. Black taking their time to think. They do not see the queen. They are in fact moving their knight to protect their own queen, even though it was already protected by the knight on b7. What will white do? Will white finally see that their queen is not protected? They do, and they retreat the queen to b3. Now, black is still in a very good position, up a piece, but how will they capitalize? Isn't clear. All the pawns being pushed means that the position is very open, and black's king could come under attack later in the game. e4. Now, we have bishop e2. Possibly setting up for a castle, but black continues to advance these pawns. Will white castle? Maybe white has other plans. Rook c1. Alright. And we get knight g6. Knight takes on f5, destroying the base of the pawn chain. Now both of these pawns are isolated, and they are not defended by other pawns, making them much easier to take. Material difference is now only +1 for black. 2 pawns for a knight, very similar to a position we saw earlier in the day. e3, and now f takes an e3. The material is equalized completely. And now, according to the engine, white is favored. Incredible. Black does take another pawn on g2, but white moves the knight back. The queen was trying to take the rook, but the knight now protects the rook. However, the engine is now claiming black is favored after that last move. It's possible that white may have had an attack on black that it no longer has because of the retreating knight move. Alright. I appear to be having some internet issues, but I will continue to do my best to commentate over this thrilling finale. And now after that move, white has a +5 advantage, but does not make the correct move to capitalize on it, because now he's given away a knight. Rook f1. That was the move that should have been played, but it's too late, because now there's a mate in 1 on the board with queen e2, but black does not see it. White now has a chance to escape the mate, and actually white has their own checkmate in 2 moves. Queen e6 into some other move order. If the knight blocks, bishop blocks, or the king moves, the queen can checkmate on d7 because the rook is covering f7. Will white see it? Queen e6. If the bishop blocks, you have queen d7 checkmate. Or, never mind, there's some other form of checkmate. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, white has some way to checkmate. It's too complicated for me to calculate, but he does not see it. Queen d5 instead. And now, black takes the rook. The checkmate is no longer on the table because that rook was essential by controlling the f-file. Of course, white gets the rook back, but it's still quite dangerous. Minus 15, according to the engine. Important to note, if the king takes the bishop on f2 after a move, then the queen can simply checkmate on f2. Very intense game. Both players have had opportunities to win, but neither of them have seen it. What will the result of this game be? If queen goes to f2, the king can just start to run away to d1. Remember, the knight on b8 is also hanging and it comes with check. Queen to e2 and bishop takes e2. A blunder by black, not realizing the bishop on g4 covers that square. Truly unfortunate given that black still has 5 minutes on the clock. And now, white is in a greatly advantageous position with the queen still on the board. But it's not quite over. Although, now black has lost another piece. But the g2 pawn advancing.
Yo, that's crazy.
And black has resigned.